Hello and welcome to my video. Welcome to my channel. My name is Annette. And in today's video, I just wanted to do a little chatting. This video, I wanted to talk about control and releasing control and kind of going with the flow and the rhythm of life a bit more and trying not to force things. I feel like there's a fine line and a balance between force, force and action and working towards something or working on something. So these are kind of the topics I wanted to get into today because it's just something I've been experiencing in my personal life as a lesson and as something I'm learning. And it's something I've been putting a lot of thought into. So, yeah, I kind of want to make this a little segment on my channel, just like some topics and thoughts because I feel like I have a lot of thoughts about things. And I can be quite introspective and I'm a bit of a overthinker. So, I think about things a lot. And yeah, like right now, they're mowing the lawn outside and it's kind of bugging me that they're mowing the freaking lawn and I'm filming this video, but I was like, you know what? And now my dog's crying at my door. But I'm like, you know what? Let go of control, girl. All right. So, yeah, I feel like lately in life has definitely been testing me. And I think I've realized that I kind of have a bit of a control issue, and that I can tend to force things. Um, I feel like a recent example of this was I was at work and there was this like eel sauce bottle because I work at a sushi restaurant, right? This is just like an example of it that taught me this in that moment. I was using an eel sauce bottle and it was empty. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a new bottle and a new lid because this one's dirty. And so then I go back in the kitchen and I grab a new bottle, and there wasn't like a lot of lids available. And there wasn't like a lid that fit it well, but there was one that I was like, "Okay, this will do, I guess." So I put it on and it goes on and it like fits, right? Kind of, and I was like, "Okay, like let me just use this." Like I kind of forced it on and I kind of forced it to fit. And then I started squeezing the bottle, and when I tell you, all the eel sauce comes out and all the eel sauce goes everywhere. And I was like, no, but you wanna know something? You wanna know something? I did that to myself because why was I forcing it? Why was I forcing something to fit that didn't fit? Why was I forcing something to go with something that doesn't go with something? You know what I mean? So in that moment, I was just like, wow, like I force things. I force things in my life sometimes, and it just creates a bigger mess. It just explodes in my face, and then I had to clean up that mess, and it took me like a whole like 10 minutes of my life to clean up that mess at work. And I was just like, if only I had got the other lid and I went to go clean it. I went to go wash it and then I put the right lid on, like I could have avoided this whole mess. But I wanted to take a shortcut, be lazy, and I wanted to force something. And then it led to a bigger mess. It led to more work. So I think that situation just really showed me something. And I think things like this, we can really take them in life and really see where we can grow. And I feel like, you can apply this to your own life and your own personal life. Like, if you're in a situation and like something happens, maybe take a step back and kind of see and analyze like where the reaction came from, or where the force is coming from, or where the control is coming from. And I can teach you a lot about yourself. So it was just such a simple moment, but I think it taught me taught me something. And I was like, wow. And I feel like I can look at other places and times of my life where I have forced things. I forced things to work that weren't working. And then in the end, again, it's just a bigger mess. And you still have to deal with it. You still have to deal with it. There's like an inevitable to things, but sometimes we can prolong, force, and make worse. So, yes, so that is one of my lessons. And maybe this applies to someone watching this video too. Maybe take note of how you do things in life and how you approach life. But yeah, and then another thing that has been such a big thing like in this past like few weeks is control and expectation also. I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. I think sometimes we have an expectation of how we want things to play out. We have an expectation of how we want things to happen. We think, yeah, like we put an expectation on something, but that's also putting control on something. And you can apply this to like so many things. Like, let's say you put an expectation on a relationship, right? You put an expectation on a relationship, and I think like I think we all have like standards, and it's great to have standards, but I'm talking about like an expectation. And maybe when you put an expectation on something, you're not really seeing the real full picture of it. You're seeing something through expectation, not reality. And when you put an expectation on something, you put a control over it. So if someone is not showing up how I want them to, you kill my expectation, and I want to control how you're showing up. But at the end of the day, a person is a person and they are who they are. And it's like you can't like change people. And wanting to change people, I think, is a form of control and your expectations. Um and like again, you're forcing something to meet something that's not real. So I think that's like a way we can look at control. Um, Also, another thing I would say is like recently, me and my fellow yogis, we all held a yoga retreat in Hawaii. And it felt like the whole time we were we were getting hit with obstacle after obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, and it was one of those things where at a certain point you have to surrender, and you have to be like, this is out of my control, because I feel like there are things in life that are in your control. What's in my control is I can control how I show up. I can control how I react to what's happening. I can control that I see things from a negative perspective, or I can control to see it from ex, in a positive way. And if I choose to see things in a positive way, I take the lesson and the wisdom from everything, and I go more into a flow state, and I go more into surrender, and I release control. So, and that's it. In those situations when a lot was happening, I was just trying my best to just be like, that's out of our control. What's in my control is keeping a positive attitude, keeping my energy light and happy. Like, that's what's in my control. So, yeah. And then anything else that's in my control is like keeping things organized, or, checking in with people. Like, there's things that you can do that are in your control and that you can take into your own hands. But always in life, there's going to be things that are out of your control. And there's like there's nothing you can do about it. It really is what it is. And learning to surrender, learning to accept, and just learning to see things in the positive end. In that sense, the way I saw it in the positive end was like, okay, life is trying to teach me, us, you know, to release control, to release expectation of what we thought this experience was supposed to be, and just let it be what it is, because there's a reason why your experience is the way that it is. Like, if I go about my day and in my eyes I feel like all my plans are just going south, maybe the plans were supposed to go that way. Maybe this was the journey of the day. And what can I take from this journey of the day? What is the universe trying to teach me from this journey of my day? Like, can I just flow with it? I think not it it's not always going to happen where things go exactly the way we imagine. So you kind of have to adjust your mindset, you have to adjust your perception, and really just go into the flow. And I think that's how we kind of surrender to life. And I think that's how we become more present. And I also think that's how we gain more wisdom, and we really learn, you know? We really learn from what life is trying to teach us, from what life is trying to show us, and from what life wants us to experience. Not what we want to experience from life all the time, but what life wants to teach us. Yeah. And what the universe wants to experience through us, for us. So, yeah, that's just something I've been thinking about. And when it comes to relationships, seeing it in that sense, I think life wants to teach me in that sense, and life wants to show me in that sense that relationships can't be forced, love can't be forced, compatibility can't be forced, connection can't be forced, it can't be controlled. I You can't morph someone into what you want them to be and what you expect them to be for you. Someone can't do that to me either. Someone can't put their expectations on me of who they want me to be. Like, I think there's a fine line with standards and then you just wanting to change someone like into something they're not, because in that case it's just not a match. In that case it's just not compatible, and that's okay. And sometimes it's okay. Like, it's okay for things to take a different direction. It's okay. And I think there's like a huge trust that comes with letting go and surrendering to life. There's like a trust that this life and everything is leading you to exactly where you're supposed to be. And you really have to believe that. And I think I do truly believe that, because I feel like I've ended up in places where I never imagined I'd end up, and in situations I never imagined I'd end up. And I've had opportunities that I never imagined. And I think when the unexpected blessings fell into my lap was when I wasn't expecting them. I feel like that's when they always come. It's like when I'm not expecting it, when I'm not forcing it, when I'm not chasing it. It's like when I'm just like, I don't have any forceful energy towards something or on anything, that's when I receive so effortlessly. And it's crazy. I believe that yes, we put in effort, we put in work, but I think when the blessings have come for me, I was truly not expecting them. And I was truly just, I wasn't even chasing or searching for it. It just kind of came to me without trying. It was like the universe was like, this is for you. This is what's meant for you. And this is where you're supposed to be. And this is what you're going to experience. This is for you. And whether you chased it or not, it was going to be for you. Because, again, also, I think what's meant for you will be meant for you. The experience you're meant to have is going to be the experience you're meant to have. The journey you're meant to take is going to be the journey you're going to take. So, might as well release the control, release the anxiety, release the expectations, and enter that flow state, enter that surrender. And yeah, I think that is something I have to tell myself a lot though. Um, and I feel like even from an artistic point of view, um, I feel like I would identify and call myself an artist, which is almost like kind of hard for me to like say and like say out loud. Like it feels kind of like, oh my God, like I don't know, I get shy like saying like I guess something about myself. I honestly get shy like saying nice things about myself too. So that's probably why too. But I feel like even with my art and like I have like an art TikTok account right now, and then I have my YouTube channel, I have this one, and I have my yoga account, and I have my yoga YouTube channel. So I have a lot of like ways I'm pouring my heart into and pouring my art into. And I think I always have to come back to this. And when it comes to my art, I feel like I always have to come back to the idea that I need to release expectations that I put on my art and that I put on myself. Um, yeah, basically. Like sometimes I feel like something needs to be perfect, right? And it's like honestly, like truly, like real, like art isn't perfect. That is literally like the point. The point of art is literally just self expression. It's not something that has to be perfect. Like, it doesn't have to be have perfect lines, perfect blends. It is just a form of self expression. As long as you put your true self expression, your true essence into your art, I think that's what counts and that's what is speaks loudly. So yeah, and then also sometimes I think like sometimes like as an artist maybe the thought comes in like it has to look a certain way, it has to sound a certain way. That's what I think people want to see, I think people want to hear. And it's like no, like what do you like? What do you need to hear? What in what way do you want to express yourself? And what way are you being authentic through your art? And I think that is what speaks loudly. It is not the expectation, it is not control. And I yes, bestie? Yes, I'm here. Hi, bestie. So, one of the quotes I wrote about art that I was thinking about yesterday, and I wrote it down because I was thinking about this film video too. And I was thinking about control in the sense of my art and art. And what I wrote was when you put expectations on your art, you take away its beauty in its own becoming. And I feel like what that means for me is I think sometimes, obviously, I have a vision for a painting, and sometimes the vision completely comes to life on the paper or on the canvas or in the project. And sometimes the vision takes me in like a different direction. Like as I'm painting it, I'm led in a different direction. I'm put on a different journey, and I try to let my art kind of do its own thing when it wants to lead me there and go there, and not put an expectation on it, and let it just become what it's meant to become in this universe and in my reality, and in its own expression of myself. And I also recently, yesterday, just wrote this poem and made this drawing. We were drawing outside, and I was just doing some like free form art, again, not focusing on it like looking perfect or looking a certain way, just kind of doing whatever, like, you know, just being expressive. And this poem that I wrote is called Wildfire. I let go of control. My fire within comes alive. I feel the freedom. I feel my truth. I feel my deep sadness. I feel my inner joy. I feel the wildfire of my true nature come to life. My all encompassing spirit becomes me. So that was also something I wrote to represent the release of control and the beauty in my own and life's becoming. So, yes, I think I'll leave off the video there. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll probably be back with some other topics that I've been thinking about, or learning lessons, or little pieces of wisdom that I've come across recently in my life. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye. She's showing her lip gloss. This has turned into a makeup tutorial. Say hi.
Hi,
Say, my name's Nilla.
my name is Lola.
Okay. She had to give me a little touch up. Does I look good?
Yeah.
So, this is my poem. It's called Wildfire. That's how it looks like. Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, it's in the corner.
Thank you. It's a sun, right?
Yeah.
So, this is my poem. You ready to hear it, Nilla? Okay. I'm going to read my poem now. I let go of control.
I like my control. Then the words in Shakti